So let's start. So welcome to Vitae Sports' first Instagram live session. And before we get Lewis, I just want to share a little bit about the company. So it's a sports management firm based in London, uh, based in England, and it also has. Thanks, Kenzie. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Kelsil, and Scarborough College is also here, who are one of our partners. Vitae Sports. So let me just tell you what Vitae Sports does. Vitae Sports is a sports management company. The company helps in providing career management to men, women, coaches, also T20 specific worldwide contracts, commercial and media opportunities, franchise recruitment, and sponsorship and merchandise. It's the head offices are based in England, they're based in South Africa, America, and Pakistan. And they're representing players like Pat Brown, Azhar Ali, who's the test captain of Pakistan. There's Jeetan Patel, who's a coach right now, and Sandeep Lamichhane, to name a few. So if I could request Lewis to send me a request to come on live. Lewis, if you're listening to me. And thank you all for joining. I hope you guys enjoy this session. Lewis, if you could just send me a request to join in, please. Thank you, Mark C, for joining. Hi, Lewis.
Hi, man. How you doing?
See you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, fine, thank you. And you?
Yes, all good, all good. Thanks for joining for the
No problem.
first Instagram live of Vitae Sports. I just want to ask you one thing. How do you feel? You're the first person on Vitae Sports Instagram live.
Yeah, no, it's
Is
good.
this the best achievement of your career till now?
Absolutely. Yeah, something a little bit new to me as well. So, yeah, it'll be good fun.
Yeah, and how are you doing during these times, during these tough times?
Yeah, pretty good on the whole. I think novelty has worn off a little bit now, but yeah, trying to stick to a bit of a schedule each week, training wise, just to keep myself ticking over, with the hope that some cricket will take place at some point this summer. But
Fingers crossed. Everyone's been
yeah.
waiting for that.
I know, yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. But yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. And yeah, my approach has been try and be ready rather than being caught off guard. So hopefully there'll be some cricket at the back end of the summer.
And how are you doing fitness-wise? What fitness regime are you following these days, staying at home?
Yeah. So before the lockdown, we all got given some gym kit from the Ageas Bowl. All of the squad got given like a bit of a package of kit that we could complete a program per week.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been in constant contact with the fitness staff and physios at Hampshire, and they've been setting us plans. So yeah, it's up to us to complete them and make sure that we're staying in good shape as and when will be required.
I had a question if none of the Hampshire people are watching.
Yeah.
Do you get lazy sometimes when you have to do some schedule and you're getting lazy? You're like, okay, let me just not do it for today.
Yeah, I think that does creep in at times. You sometimes, yeah, you'll have days. I think it's difficult when you feel like cricket might not take place at all, or if it does, it could be a few months away. It is difficult, but I think for me, I maybe have an hour where I should have done it, but I haven't. But the guilt tries to creep in, and then I think, oh, I better get out there and get it done. But yeah, I think it's a different dimension. There's a little bit more responsibility on us as players to look after our own game and our own fitness. So yeah, I've quite enjoyed that.
So I want to start with a quick quarantine rapid fire, just to get some more information out of you,
Yeah.
even cricket and other than cricket, of what you're doing. So I want to ask a new skill you've learned staying at home for so much time.
Well, I think, yeah, me and my girlfriend have been doing a little bit of cooking. She loves her cooking. So maybe once a week we've been sort of tackling a new curry or something, sort of like an Indian themed meal. So that's been good fun, and takes quite a few hours to prep. I sort of take it for granted when you get a takeaway or you go to a
Yeah.
nice Indian restaurant, and it's but yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it's been good fun. A new challenge.
You have quite a few Indians watching you here, and I'm also wearing a Bharat Army jersey.
Yeah, I'm probably not up to the scratch of your guys' cooking, but I'm working on it.
So I wanna, if you could just share, what's the local cuisine which you have in, since I know you were born and brought up in Dorset, what was the local cuisine you've had and what's been, your favorite dish since
Oh,
childhood?
that's a tricky one. I think I've always had a range of different foods. Really, always tried to not be too fussy. I think try and I don't know seafood at times. We try and have a lot of fish if we can. But also when the weather's like it has been, which has been a bit of a blessing during lockdown, the sun's been out pretty much every day. We tried to get the barbecue out and make
Mhm.
the most of the weather. So yeah, I'm a big fan of a barbecue.
Okay, I'll get to the next question. Um, One word for the Last Dance Jordan documentary.
Oh, one word's tough. Inspiring, I reckon. That would be
Inspiring.
the one word. Yeah, very
Is
inspiring.
he your favorite basketball player? Would you rate him as the greatest of all time?
Yeah, I mean, when we were watching it, I sort of thought I don't really have a great knowledge of basketball. I don't really watch it that much, but
Mhm.
having watched that, I was like, God, I've missed out on so much for a long time. And obviously, his basketball ability is incredible, but I think it's more his mentality, which I think we can all take into our jobs, or even for me into cricket.
Other than The Last Dance, any good series or movie you've seen during this quarantine?
Um, oh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I think the last dance I've that's taken up the majority of my screen time a little bit. Maybe played a little bit too many video games at times. So that if I'm not training, I've been playing video games or playing golf.
Okay, we have Tom Banton joining us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. And I would just request everyone, if they have any questions for Lewis, keep them coming. We have a question, Lewis. I'll take that first from Shashi Jain from India. Lewis, who's your favorite cricketer? She's asking.
Oh, favorite cricketer. It's tough. I think at the minute I'd probably go with a Kohli or a De Villiers. I think their ability, well, not only in one day cricket, but yeah, um, yeah, just make the game look so easy. Score 360 around the wicket, and yeah, just they're match winners. I think they're always there at the end, whether their team's chasing. It just seems to rise to the big occasion, which I think's that's awesome.
Okay, let's get to the next question. One thing other than cricket you're missing the most.
I think just seeing my teammates really, and obviously during the season we spend a lot of time with each other, traveling
Yeah.
through various venues, and just the banter between the lads, and yeah, just the ups and downs of it. It's obviously it's not all plain sailing during a season. You have ups and downs, but it makes it all worthwhile when you win, or if you win trophies. It's all part of it.
And who's the funniest teammate in the dressing room?
Oh, this is tough. Under pressure here. There's quite a few to be honest. I think we've got a good balance. I think Chris Wood's a bit of a life and soul of the party. He's always got a joke up his sleeve. So I'd probably say that he just knits that title. Yeah.
Okay, so that sets the ball rolling with those very good answers. I just want to ask you about your younger days in Dorset. Who inspired you to take up this game, and how did you, eventually get to playing for Hampshire?
Yeah. I think like a lot of people my age, I think the 2005 Ashes series was probably the big point that motivated me to play cricket. I always played a lot of football, and then played cricket as something to do during the summer really, and then yeah, just fell in love with it, and yeah, loved the '05 Ashes. And I started out at a small club down in Dorset called Broadstone, and then obviously played a few youth representative games at Dorset, and then progressed through to Hampshire Academy, and then on to the Hampshire Stars.
I've heard really good things about the academy. If you could just talk about the Hampshire Academy, and then I want to divert into you starting your own academy and how did that come up?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think the Hampshire Academy has been very successful. I think a huge percentage of the lads that are in the playing staff at the minute have come through the academy, which is a great sign, and something that I think the club will keep trying to add to. And I was lucky enough that I think three other lads from Dorset in my age group were on the academy at the same time. So Dorset are doing great things as well, and producing some cricketers that go up to Hampshire. And yeah, recently within the last couple of days, I've set up a little coaching business, not only for me to have something to concentrate on, but just, yeah, obviously the cricket season's so massively affected, and just giving kids the opportunity to develop their skills, really, given the fact that any competitive games are going to look pretty unlikely. So yeah, if I can help out and help kids train during the summer, then that would be good.
If you could just give a little bit more information, where can people, we'll put the link in our bio also, but where can people find more information about your academy?
Yeah, we've set up Instagram and Twitter pages, and it's Lewis McManus Coaching. And then on there, you'll find an email address which you can inquire about any sessions. And then, yeah, obviously it's half term next week. So there's a few available slots there. And then, yeah, we'll try and make it go all the way through the summer so that kids get the opportunity to practice their skills all summer.
We actually got a question from Georgie Andrews yesterday, and she said, what's the best thing about one-to-one coaching?
I think obviously you're getting full attention from a coach at times. If you've got big groups, it's, as a coach, I know that or when I've coached groups in the past, it's difficult. You try your best to get round and see everybody, but it's difficult at times. I think obviously one-to-ones, you can do a bit of analysis with them, and just work specifically on areas that they want to work on, which is what I would sort of promote, that they're getting what they want out of a session rather than what you are forcing on them as such.
I wanted to ask you, I mean, with the way the season works in England, you're preparing most of the winter to actually, start playing in summer, start playing in April and March and April. How have you taken it mentally in terms, there's been no cricket for 2 months, you've not been training. How have you taken it mentally, and how is Hampshire Club helping you, deal with all of these things mentally?
Yeah, it is tough. I think from when you finish the season, everything's building up towards a date where that might be pre-season. You've always got that sort of time frame in your mind. That's obviously been taken away, but I think it affects such a wide range of areas, not only cricket or sport. So I think, there's been times where it's been very frustrating, and I think that unknown of if we're going to get any cricket is difficult. But like I said earlier, it's trying to stay sharp and not be caught off guard. I'd rather be ready to play and there be no cricket than sort of be told, in 2 weeks we'll be training and you haven't done anything for a while. So yeah, it's not easy, but I think, Hampshire have been very good. They've kept us in the loop. We've had constant sort of communication with them about what's going on. So I think as soon as they know, then we'll know as players as well.
We've got a couple of questions. Let me just take those quickly. We've got one question from Pritesh. He says, if you could please ask him importance of sidearm / throwdown guy as part of team support staff or coaching staff.
What, as in the benefits of training against that?
I think by that he means the importance of having a sidearm / throwdown guy as part of a coaching team support staff.
Yeah, I think obviously sidearms have changed coaching and practice massively. I think it's as close as you'll get to facing bowlers, and obviously with bowlers' workloads being monitored constantly, it's not always easy to get a net against bowlers. So I think that, they're very good. And they, like I said, they're as close as you'll get to a match intensity. And they're pretty easy to use, to be honest. I think a lot of the lads at the club can use them. So if there's no coaches around, we'll try and throw at each other. I think they're very good.
We've got another question coming from Manila from India. She says, Lewis, you spoke about one-to-one coaching. Considering social distancing regulations, how will coaching take place during these uncertain times? Be it if you're doing it or even when Hampshire start doing it.
Yeah, it's difficult and you've got to follow the guidelines, but we're following the government guidelines. Obviously be staying 2.5 meters apart. And the government guidelines say that you can have one-to-one coaching. It's just no groups. That's the beauty of it. We can get one-to-ones in without breaking any of those regulations.
And viewers watching, please feel free to ask questions to Lewis. And Lewis, I just want to talk about your under-19 days. Playing under Pakistan under-19, also touring, and playing Bangladesh under-19 also. How was that experience, as compared to playing in England when you're traveling abroad?
Yeah, it was brilliant. I remember that 12 months I'd started playing a little bit of second team cricket at Hampshire, and then following on from that onto the under-19s. And I think one of the good parts of Hampshire Academy was it was very professional. You were using the same facilities, etc., as the professional staff. But I think it just sort of went up a level, playing second team, and then under-19s was just cool. It was playing with lads around the country, and yeah, you felt like it was a very professional setup. And the Pakistan lads were very strong side. I think we played them quite a few times in about 6 months. I think we played them in the UAE and then also over here. Yeah, it was just good exposure to play against a different type of cricket, a lot of spin, and yeah, it was good development.
Yeah, we've got a couple of more questions. So let me just take those. So Laura is asking, Lewis, if you hadn't become a professional cricketer, what would you like to do instead?
Oh, yeah, that's tough. I do think about that a lot. If I hadn't have become a cricketer, I'm not really 100% sure, but I think, yeah, I do a fair amount of coaching during the winter if I'm not playing. It's obviously becomes difficult with the playing commitments, and that's why it's a good opportunity to start this coaching business. So I think I'd probably go down that route. If I wasn't to be a cricketer now, I think I'd go down the coaching route and try and stay in the game as much as I could.
So Pritesh that asked the question regarding the sidearm, he's actually saying, thank you, Lewis. I work in India with the Ranji Trophy team as part of a team support staff, and you explained it very well. Sidearm gives extra time while you are facing bowlers. Thanks, Pritesh, for joining. And we have Liam who's asking, what position did you bat when you were younger?
Yeah, good question. A lot of the time I batted number 4, and then yeah, another good point about the Hampshire Academy. Our head coach was Tony Middleton, who was next Hampshire player, still a coach at Hampshire now, and just sort of always batting in different roles. I think you obviously, as a player, I'd always encourage people to try and bat as high as they can. But yeah, it was good to just experience different roles. Sometimes batting at 7 or 8, batting with a tail, and just learning how to go about things in different positions, because I think that's important.
Were you always a wicketkeeper once you started in your early days? Or is that a skill you developed playing cricket?
I think, well, yeah, I used to bowl. I used to bowl and bat, and probably because my idol back then was Andrew Flintoff, following on from the 05 Ashes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to bowl, and then I think there was one county session where our keeper wasn't around, and I just sort of thought, oh, it's a bit of a joke. Well, not a joke, but a bit of fun. I'll stick the gloves on and have a go at it, and it just sort of went quite well, and I really enjoyed it. So just never looked back from there, really.
Yeah. So let's just move on a little to some more questions which I have for you, make it more interesting. Favorite cricket ground other than the Aegis Bowl?
Got to be Lords, I think. Yeah.
Lords.
Yeah.
Any overseas ground you like?
See, in terms of
maybe it could be a country starting from I. Could be, I think.
Unfortunately, I haven't had much experience over in India yet, but hopefully something for the future. But I think MCG. I went to Melbourne 2 winters ago for a club season over there, which was awesome, and went and watched a little bit of cricket at the MCG, and I just thought, yeah,
it's just massive. Oh. I was there in January. It's just massive. It
doesn't feel like a cricket stadium. It feels more like a football stadium. But yeah, it's cool.
And especially Boxing Day test matches when there are 85 to 90,000 people.
Yeah,
just that atmosphere you get when you're walking down to the middle. It just must be so much of pressure.
Yeah.
But it comes with the game. I mean,
yeah.
And I've got favorite test batsman and favorite test bowler.
Favorite test batsman, I'd say at the minute, in terms of test cricket alone, I'd say Steve Smith. I think, yeah, just the consistency is just unbelievable. Mental strength and just the ability to keep going. Every innings just looks like he's starting from scratch, and that consistency, I would say, just sets him apart from everybody else at the moment. And then test bowler, I'd probably say Jimmy Anderson, I reckon.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, just very good to watch. Yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit of Test cricket on TV this summer, and yeah, it'll be good to watch him bowl.
Okay, if you had to play in one IPL team, which one would that be and why?
Oh, well, they're all. I mean, that's a tough one because they're all packed with superstars.
Yeah.
I'd probably say.
The reason,
Sorry, go on.
the reason I asked you this question is think where you can get a place in the team in a 4 overseas if you play in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So thinking like that, which team do you think you would want to play for, and which team do you like generally watching?
Oh, I mean, yeah, like I said, it doesn't make it any easier for me. I think they're all packed with. They're so packed with superstars. I think Royal Challengers would appeal to me. Playing with Kohli and AB, I think would be pretty cool just to chat to them. But then also Chennai, I think MS Dhoni, he'd be great to learn off. Just pick his brains on how he approaches things, how he trains. I think that would be awesome.
You'll join your fellow English Sam Curran also, English cricketer in the Chennai team.
Yeah.
And any BBL team?
BBL. Oh, I know a few of our Hampshire lads went to. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're talking Big Bash.
Yes, Big Bash.
Big Bash. Yeah, I mean, they're again all pretty cool. I reckon Perth Scorchers would be a good place. I've never been to Perth, but I've heard great things about Perth, and they're a successful team. And our former teammate Michael Carberry played there and said he had a great time. So yeah, I'd say Perth.
We've got a question from Jaydev. He's a big cricket fan. He's my friend from India. He says, "Hi Lewis, what would be a typical practice or pre-match routine for a professional cricketer?"
I think for me, the day before it would be just a normal training session. Try to get a good amount of volume of practice in, and then sort of leave the ground knowing that you've ticked all your boxes before the game the following day.
Yeah,
and then the morning of a game, I would just try and have a little routine that I've built up myself, which I quite like, and it's only maybe a couple of drills or something, keeping or batting. That I feel that I can tick those off, and then I'll be ready for the game. So trying to keep it quite simple on the morning of a game, but the day before and the build up to a game, trying to put the hard yards in.
I think Darren wants to get you into the Melbourne Stars team, because Darren Long is saying Melbourne Stars with Pat Brown and Sandeep Lamichhane, surely.
Yeah, well, back to Melbourne. I see my mates who I played with in Melbourne. That would be a good fit. It's
a lovely place, Melbourne.
Yeah, it is.
It's quite a nice place. Coming to Darren Long, I'll tell people who don't know, Darren Long is the founder of Vitae Sports. And just wanted to ask you, Lewis, if you could briefly talk about your experience with Vitae Sports, since you've been with them, and your experience of working with Darren Long.
Yeah, so I joined up with Darren 2 years ago, I think. And yeah, it's been brilliant. Constantly on the end of the phone or an email to offer advice, and always there if I need him. Obviously, the summer's pretty busy, so it's sort of left to us to get in contact, but always there whenever we need him. And it's been brilliant, really, just to use his contacts and just take the pressure off me, really, that I can just go out there, play cricket, and the rest sort of gets looked after itself.
We've got a question from Switzerland. So you have fans there also. What's the best sledge you have received and the best sledge you have given?
Oh, that is tough. God, there's no good ones I've been given. They'll all just be pretty abusive. So I wouldn't be able to repeat them, but I try and block them out. Best ones I've seen. To be honest, I wouldn't say a massive amount of it happens, to be honest. I think a lot used to happen as a kid. Like, you just used to, I mean, it wasn't bad back then, but you sort of have a bit of a laugh and a joke with your mates as a kid. But to be honest, not a lot of it happens, or my experience in first class cricket. I think everyone's so concentrating on their own game and executing the skill. And it's such a fast moving game. You just sort of, that area doesn't really, I wouldn't say a huge amount of it happens.
I want to ask a question which I think I know the answer, but I think I have to ask is Test cricket, one day or T20, the toughest format to play mentally and physically, and one format which you want to play in the future more?
Yeah, I would say mentally and physically, yeah, the longer form is probably the most
Yeah.
difficult, I would say. But at the same time, probably the most rewarding, I would say. Just the ups and downs of a 4-day game, and yeah, how tired you are at the end of each day. You've got to get up, go again. It's tough, but I think that makes it all the more rewarding at the end if you get over the line and get the win. And then in terms of what I'd like to do more of, I'm still trying to not go down one route. Still trying to
Yeah.
cover all bases. Still love to play Test cricket for England, and would love to play one-day cricket for England, and also sort of get into overseas 2020 leagues. Yeah, that's a big goal of mine. So trying to not really go down one route just yet. Still trying to develop skills in all three areas.
Considering the current situation and how cricket will pan out in the coming couple of years, what's your take on T20 international, which you just said, T20 international tournaments abroad, and what opportunities there would be for English players going to either play the CPL in West Indies or the Bangladesh Premier League or even the IPL in Australia? Numerous tournaments which happen during the winter when there's no cricket here, when it's off season here. What do you think? What kind of opportunities there are currently?
Yeah,
He's
I think
just paused. Yeah, we just lost you. Yeah,
oh, you got me.
we're back.
Yeah, I think obviously there's been a huge amount of English players go overseas to play in competitions, which is brilliant. I think it will only develop players further, and hopefully that will then lead to them playing for the English side. I would say how this current situation is going to affect it, I don't think anyone's really too sure. I think we'll have to wait and see what happens with travel. If players are going to be blocked from going overseas, we just have to wait and see. But I think those overseas comps are vital really for players' development, and just like an IPL, for example, like you said, Tom Banton was on here earlier. For him to get picked up in the IPL at such a young age and work with experienced players as a young player, I think that you just can't put a value on that. So for him to go and work with international
He
stars,
must be inching right now to go and play the IPL.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's a shame for him, but yeah, I think opportunities like that are only good things.
So you would be open to playing anywhere in the world,
Absolutely,
all of these T20 tournaments.
Yeah.
Do you think your game style is more suited to T20 cricket?
I'd say in the last couple of years, I've probably had more success in the shorter form. Yeah, but yeah, and I'm going to keep trying to develop that and get even better at that.
Yeah.
But still trying to have an eye on that. I'd love to play Test cricket if I could. But yeah, I think to try and get into the T20 leagues would be a big goal for me.
I want to tell the viewers watching is that I've not seen many batsmen step out of the crease and hit Rashid Khan for a 6-over mid-wicket. How was that? How did you do that? Because it's so difficult. I've played cricket myself in Delhi, played it for 8 years, and I know how difficult it is, considering how he releases the ball to pick his deliveries. Yeah. So if you could just talk about that one delivery, which was against Sussex.
Yeah, I think, well, we were behind the run rate. I can't remember exactly what we were chasing, but we were behind the run rate, and I just thought that I was hitting the ball quite nicely in the lead up to that game. I was sort of feeling in good form, and I just sort of thought, look, so try and block out who the bowler is and just play the ball. Easier said than done at times, but I just thought if we could have a big over here, it would change the whole complex of the game itself. So yeah, I was just try and stick to my strengths and work out based on the field or what had come down at me already that over, what was coming down, and then yeah, luckily it came off.
Was he one of the most difficult spinners you faced in the T20 Blast?
Yeah, it probably would be. I think the successful T20 spinners, obviously someone like him or Muji bowl they've got mystery.
Yeah.
They bowl it, they spin both ways, but I think they bowl it so quickly, so they don't give you the time to pick length or watch, like, pick the delivery. But that being said, there's a decent amount of analysis nowadays, which helps a little bit. It doesn't make it easy as such, but yeah, we have team meetings about plans and stuff going into games. So with that information and then what you pick up out in the middle, we're trying to come up to a plan which is as low risk as possible.
I think most of the batsmen would be the top order batsmen would be scratching their head, thinking, "How can we play this guy? How can we?"
Yeah, it is tough at times. I think, like I said, when they're bowling it so quickly with a mystery element to it, it is difficult. And I think that's why wrist spinners especially have been so successful in T20 cricket in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think Griffin wants you. We've got a few comments from Griffin. He wants you to come to Australia.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you coming to Australia for the 2020-21 season?"
Yeah, so I think I played with Griffin at Camberwell in Melbourne a couple of years ago. Had a great time with the lads over there. So yeah, I mean, I'd love to go back at some point and play another season for Camberwell. But yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what happens with the travel restrictions after this pandemic.
Okay, so slightly shifting around from cricket, I want our viewers to get to know you more. Who's your favorite actor?
I'd say Denzel Washington. I think a couple of his films. Yeah, big fan of his films. Just a cool customer. So yeah, I'd say him.
And your favorite movie of all time?
Shawshank Redemption, I think. Yeah, it's been that for a long time, and I'm still waiting for something to try and beat it. But yeah, I think I'd stick with that.
And your favorite destination?
I'd say I've been lucky enough to go there a couple of times on holiday, and also to play cricket. I'd say Barbados in the Caribbean.
Barbados.
Yeah, I think we as a Hampshire squad, we did a fair few years of pre-season tours out there. Amazing place, lovely people, and yeah, just good. They love their cricket out there, and yeah, the practice was awesome, and obviously outside of the cricket, it's an amazing place.
And coming back to cricket now,
Yeah.
Kohli, Root or Smith, the better one-day batsman?
Oh, it's tough. I think Kohli. I think, given the fact that he just seems to, I mean, you probably know, but whatever he averages chasing a total is just phenomenal. I think just the type of person that you want if you're chasing a score, like batting second, always seems to be 100, 150 not out, chasing a total. And I think, besides from his skill level, just that determination to be there at the end, I think is awesome.
I think personally, if I would have to talk about Kohli, I would say that the way he paces his innings when he's chasing, he'll start slow also, but then he'll always keep the run rate ticking, which is one thing I think is commendable about him. No matter what bowler is bowling to him, he'll always take the pressure off. Even when he's running between the wickets, he'll always take the pressure off the non-striker.
Yeah,
so that the non-striker doesn't have to take any risk.
Yeah, I think the best players are very clever on who they go after, who they try and target, and then who they just try and knock it around and run hard. And like you said, it's all about timing. I think a lot of people can go a bit too hard too early, and then they sort of take too many risks. Whereas the good players, good finishers, sort of take it really deep into an innings and get the team over the line.
MS Dhoni, Adam Gilchrist, Kumar Sangakkara, the better wicket keeper. Not a batsman, but better wicket keeper in terms of skill. Yeah,
I would say Gilchrist. I would say personally, someone I look up to, but I would say Dhoni's skill stood up to the stumps to spin is hard to beat. I would say just rapid hands, doesn't miss a chance, really stood up. So I'd say standing up to spin, I would say him, but on the whole, I'd say Gilchrist.
And we've just got a few more questions. We've got a question from Aditya Jain from Delhi. He says, which is the toughest pitch/stadium you've ever played at?
That is a tough one. I played a 50 over game for England under 19s at Derbyshire a few years ago. Against Pakistan, and I think Derbyshire played like a 50 over game the day before, so it was a used pitch already, and then we played a 50 over, and they had some good spinners, Pakistan. And I think I might have it on TV at home at my parents' place. I think they recorded it, but I mean the pitch was just turning square, and as a 18, 19-year-old, sort of very, very foreign conditions. So I'd say that was probably the toughest where I've been out there. And
How many runs did you score in that match?
Sorry?
How much do you score in that match?
I think I got 20 odd. I think I came in with maybe 10 overs left. I think we've gone quite well as a team, and then we sort of got stuck a little bit behind the rate. And then the last 10 overs we were behind. It was tricky to sort of start against spin like that. But again, I think those sorts of situations as a 18, 19-year-old are good experiences.
I think this is another question coming. It's a hot topic currently for many, many reasons. What would you change in Test cricket to make it more engaging to the younger generation who crave for ODI and T20 cricket?
It's a tough one. I personally wouldn't change anything. I think it's perfect how it is, and it's tough. It's tough to play. I understand that it's not as exciting as one-day cricket. So I think, I wouldn't like to be whoever's in charge trying to change it, because it's a tough one to change. But I know there was talk about changing it to 4 days a couple of months ago, but I wouldn't agree with that.
Makes sense.
No.
Yeah.
I think, it's a tough one. I think that the hope is that people maybe fall in love with the game through T20 and one-day cricket, and then sort of become more and more involved in Test cricket as a result of that. That would be the ideal. But I think Test cricket is fine as it is. If we can just get more people sort of in the ground, then that would be a bonus.
So you're saying promoting Test cricket through T20 cricket?
Yeah, I think so. I think the hope is that you get maybe some, especially over here in the UK, some football or rugby fans into cricket via the T20 or the 100, which was due to start this summer. And then they find a bit of a love for the game, and then go on to watch Test cricket. But Test cricket's, I think, obviously the older style of the game, and I wouldn't want that to change personally. I think I still enjoy watching it, and I'd certainly enjoy playing it as well.
We got a question from Malibu. She says, would you be open to play CPL in the Caribbean in the future? Yeah,
I mean, I'd love to play the CPL. I think, obviously a very, very good league. I watch a bit of it on TV over here if it's not too late at night. But yeah, looks a great competition. I think all of these T20 stars that go around the comp sort of do CPL, Big Bash, IPL, etc. So the standard of all of these comps is so good.
We've got another question from India, from Rajiv Jain. He says, will performances of players be affected by playing in empty stadiums due to COVID regulations?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think the T20, we're obviously used to having half decent crowds in T20s over here. But I think everyone's just going to be so hungry to play this summer if we get any cricket on. I don't think that it will affect it. It'll be maybe a little bit strange, but I think on the whole, lads will just be so excited to get out there and play hopefully a T20 competition. So I don't think that will affect motivation as such.
We've got a question from Connor. For such a disciplined sports person, how important is routine and structure to a day's training in the current times? It's a good question. Yeah,
I think as much as I can, I've tried to put a bit of a structure in place for my training, just so that I make sure I'm not missing any areas or getting lazy. So yeah, I've put together a bit of a program myself. And I think that with the view really that once we get back into cricket, I'm not caught off guard. And like I said, it's not like sort of getting hit straight away and a massive increase in workload. So the skill side of it's difficult to practice skills, but fitness really and staying fit for playing, I think, is pretty straightforward.
Kenzie is enjoying it. She's saying Lewis loves the six.
Yeah, she is enjoying it. I think she's upstairs, so she's maybe tuned in.
Luke Benali has a question. How much as a player do you have to change your technique and mindset from red to white ball cricket?
Yeah, good question. It's tough. I think over here in the UK, we at times in the summer we maybe have like a 4-day game followed straight by a T20. It's tough. In an ideal world, you'd have some time in between to practice against the red ball. Obviously, the red ball swings a lot over here, and the white ball doesn't really. If it does, it would be for a couple of overs. And for me personally, with my role in a T20 or 1-day game, I'm obviously a bit more attacking, looking for
Yeah.
boundaries and to score quite quickly. Whereas 4-day cricket, depending on the situation of the game, can be very different to that. So it is tough, but I guess it's everyone's in the same boat in terms of teams around the country. So it's just a matter of who can do it best.
England World Cup victory or Ashes victory in Australia? Which one would you prefer?
England, I reckon, Ashes victory. Yeah, I think that
In
would be.
Australia?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. And then just taking it back to my first sort of memories of cricket, watching the Ashes. I think that's really the pinnacle, I would say, in terms of a cricketing achievement for an Englishman, I reckon.
And an old retired bowler you would love to face?
Oh, anyone slow who bowls half volleys, that'd be nice. Um, no, I think I'd love to know what it was like to face Shane Warne. I think that would be.
Mhm.
I watched a lot of him as a kid. Yeah, almost a bit superhuman what he used to be able to do. But yeah, I think he'd be the top for me.
Yeah, I just want to tell the viewers, if you have any more questions for Lewis, there's some banter going on here. Dawes says, you want to smile. uh, there's one question here from Dal Rimple. He says, do you have a diet plan as a professional cricketer?
A diet plan was that?
Yeah, diet
Um,
plan, yeah.
not really a plan. I try and look after what I eat, but I'm not too vigilant on it. I try and try and enjoy myself, but also keep tabs on it. So yeah, just mainly just trying to tick over physically. But yeah, the eating side is important. Of course it is. You don't want to be working hard and then
Yeah.
eating really badly. But I wouldn't say I'm too strict on what I eat, but I try and stay in control of it. Yeah.
Toughest bowler you've ever faced? Next question coming from the viewers.
Um, Toughest bowler. I would probably say, yeah, 2 years ago we played Notts. Stuart Broad was playing. First time I played against him. I think it was a couple of weeks out from a test series, so he's sort of getting ready for that. And I thought it was an awesome test. Great to sort of experience that intensity of international cricket, albeit I know it was a county game, but I'd say a couple of spells I faced from him was up there.
Okay, and as a keeper, the most difficult bowler you kept for?
Um, I think a few years ago we had Mujib play for us, the
Yeah,
Afghanistan mystery spinner,
Jeevan Rama. Yeah.
played in T20s. I reckon he was quite difficult. Again, bowled very quickly, mystery. I reckon he had about 8 or 9 different deliveries, so trying to
Yeah.
learn them in a couple of weeks before competition started was tricky, but all part of it. And yeah, it was good fun to watch. Good to keep to him.
How was he in the nets? How was he playing in the nets against? Was he easy to pick, his deliveries?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say easy to pick, but I mean, majority of the time bowled at the openers or the top 3 or 4. And I would try and slot in behind in the net and try and keep to him, just to try and do as much as I could to pick different deliveries. But yeah, I think as much as I just tried to focus on one delivery, the most threatening delivery, which I thought maybe the one turning in, and then try and play for that and then adjust to the one that turns away. But yeah, trying to be clear in your areas and then work around a bit of a plan.
A deep mid-wicket 6 or a cover drive for 4? Which one would you prefer?
Oh, yes, tough one. I'd go for the 6, I reckon. Yeah, probably go for
Yeah?
the 6 over mid wicket. Yeah. Got to
I
keep the
think I
strike rate
rephrased the
high.
question. I think it would be deep mid wicket 6 in T20 cricket
Yeah,
and cover
yeah,
drive for 4 in a test match or a Royal One Day Cup.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, I'll take that.
We have some more questions coming in. We have a lot of your teammates here, so I just wanted to put you in a tricky situation now and ask you who's your best mate in the dressing
Oh,
room.
that is tough. I wouldn't say I have an out and out best mate. I think there's I sort of spend time with all the lads really, but I try and play a little bit of golf in my spare time. So there's a few of us that enjoy our golf. So um, yeah, a bit of a mixed bag really. But I'd say as a whole, we're pretty lucky. We're a pretty close team. No sort of small groups. We're all as one team, which is good.
So it's a good answer you've given.
Swerved that one quite nicely.
So I want to tell people who don't know that Lewis also does modeling.
Do I?
Do you?
No, I've done some photos for Adidas, my sponsor.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You think that could be a future career after cricket? Or maybe television? What would you want to do?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't. Not sure. I'd want to do modeling, but I would go. I think yeah, maybe like a punditry sort of role. That'd be quite good. Working in TV again. Anything that would maybe keep me in the game of cricket would appeal to me, I reckon.
Give some good competition to Rob Key and Nasser Hussain.
Yeah, yeah. No, that'd be good fun.
Yes. If anyone has more questions for Lewis, please feel free to ask. What role did your family play, Lewis, in
Um,
terms of cricket?
yeah, quite a big one. I would suggest. Obviously that they were the ones that originally took me to cricket training, my parents. And then yeah, I actually was thinking about this the other day, like the countless journeys to hours and hours away for different games and training sessions. So yeah, it's pretty relentless. I reckon most weeks we were traveling to, I don't know, areas in Somerset, Devon, or Hampshire. So yeah,
Yeah.
having the support to go and do those sessions or matches was obviously I couldn't have done that without parents or grandparents help. So yeah, it's very, very good.
Got another one from Luke. It's a nice. I was actually getting to this question about football. Why do you think the lads warm up with football with all the injuries
Yeah,
people seem to get, especially seeing how useless some of the Hampshire lads are at it.
yeah.
So
I think we're probably one of the worst affected as well. We've had a few injuries. I think
yeah.
Fidel Edwards broke his leg a few years ago playing football, which I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, we don't have a good track record. But I think I've got a feeling it has been banned now. But I
Yeah.
think I kind of see a place for it because in a 4-day game, if we've been in the field the whole day before and it's 10 o'clock or something on the second day and everyone's knackered, everyone's sore, the only way you can sort of get lads moving and running around, especially the bowlers, is by doing some sort of something fun like a game of football.
Yeah.
And it's just a way of getting everyone going and a bit of a laugh before.
Which football team do you support?
I support Southampton, so obviously a local team here. So yeah, hopefully we'll have a bit of football on TV soon. That would be good.
Yes, fingers crossed. Just waiting for a couple of more questions.
See, Luke said we're useless at football.
Yeah.
Luke, we'll have to set up a five-a-side, mate, and we'll settle that.
Liam is asking, Lewis, did school help you develop in cricket? How are the school facilities and...
Yeah, my school that I went to was Claysmore School in like north of Dorset, and yeah, they were very good. I think I had various coaches throughout the sort of heads of cricket when I was there. Dan Conway, Tom Flowers. I think those guys had played second team cricket themselves, so they sort of knew what that next step looked like, and yeah, sort of brought those ideas to training for me at a young age, which was good. And then the school were constantly letting me out, whether it was a couple of afternoons a week to go up and train at Hampshire on a Saturday. It did have Saturday school, but they let me miss some days in the summer to go and play for Hampshire Academy, which was a big help.
G-Max World is asking favorite moment at Hampshire. Was it lifting the trophy?
Yeah.
At Lord's.
Yeah, I think so. I think that competition. Sort of had a chat with Darren about this the other day, and just how it didn't all go our way, that competition. There were certain games where you feel like, oh, we've messed this up and we're looking like losing, but we sort of got over the line and sort of got it done somehow. And then had a lot of success leading into that final, and then a good strong performance on that day. And as a kid, I used to go and watch what used to be called the C&G final there every year, with my dad, my brother, grandparents, and then to obviously play in that event a couple of years later was pretty cool, and good to look back on.
5 catches as a wicketkeeper or a test century?
100, definitely. Century, I think. It'd be cool. But just anything to sort of put the team in a good position, I think it's rewarding. Obviously, you want to do well for yourself, but that feeling of contributing to the team and to a win is good.
Any advice you would give to youngsters watching this? To youngsters who in the future would want to take training from you? Any advice you have for them?
Well, I'd say ask as many questions as you can. Pick people's brains on what their views are on things. You obviously don't do everything that somebody tells you. Like, it might not work for you, but the more questions you can ask, and then as you go, you speak to more and more people, players, coaches, and work out what works for you as an individual, and then you sort of put a bit of a game plan together from that. But just try and talk to as many people as you can and get new ideas.
We've got another question from Pritish. He says, which red ball is best according to you? SG, Test, Kookaburra Turf or Dukes?
As a batsman, the Kookaburra, because it doesn't swing as much as a Dukes. But yeah, I think on the whole, I would say Dukes. I would say it kind of brings a good balance between batters and bowlers. I think at times you watch some overseas cricket with a Kookaburra and might swing for a little bit, but after a while it's soft and doesn't really move off straight. And I think that doesn't help with what you were saying earlier with viewing to Test cricket. People want to see action, and I think in the UK, ball still swinging or nipping around makes it interesting to watch.
Lewis, I want to thank you for this lovely conversation. Can Vitae Sports proudly say that this was the highlight of your lockdown? Coming live on our channel.
Absolutely.
So I want to tell all our viewers, please follow Lewis on Instagram, on Twitter. Please follow his coaching page. The link will be there on Vitae Sports bio. And Lewis, best of luck for the season. Hope we see you very soon on the cricket pitch. Hope I see you very soon in the IPL and in the CPL and in Australia. And stay safe, man. Thank you so much for coming on Vitae Sports channel.
Thanks, man. Really enjoyed it, mate. And you stay safe as well.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Cheers, buddy. See you later.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.
I just want to thank everyone for joining Vitae Sports. We'll be coming up with more cricketers in this session. I want to thank Lewis. Please stay safe, stay positive, stay healthy, and hopefully we'll see, fingers crossed, we'll see some cricket soon. So please like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, like our Instagram channel, and thank you. Please stay safe.